Welcome to Global View. Join us on this multi-visual journey around the world. China seeks to narrow the scope of negotiations with the United States with a view to breaking the deadlock. On September 16, 2019, China is seeking to narrow the scope of negotiations with the United States to only deal with trade issues, and to take the more difficult national security issues separately, with a view to can break the deadlock in negotiations with the United States. According to people familiar with the plan, Chinese officials hope that such an approach will help the two sides resolve some of the most pressing issues and resolve the current stalemate. In order to ease trade tensions before the high-level consultations in October, Chinese and U.S. government officials are taking a series of moves, and Thursday's move is the latest step. Trump: the United States knows who is the chief culprit in the attack on the Saudi oil field. September 16, 2019, U.S. President Trump said, "The United States has locked in and captained to deal with the fierce attacks on Saudi Arabia's oil facilities." Trump said on Twitter on Sunday evening, "There is reason to believe that we know who is the culprit." He also said that he was waiting for news from Saudi Arabia, waiting for them to confirm who the murderer behind the attack was. "Where will we proceed to the next step?" Before dawn on Saturday, some unmanned aircraft attacked the Abigail refinery and the Hulesi oil field in Saudi Arabia, caused a fire. It is easy to see huge smoke columns from the satellite. Saudi Arabia said that the attack did not cause casualties, but they said that this damage will severely reduce the country's production of 5.7 million barrels of oil a day, close to 6% of world production. Saudi officials are busy resuming oil production. They said they would use the country's oil reserves to guarantee delivery. Trump: China has begun to purchase U.S. agricultural products. On September 18, 2019, U.S. President Donald Trump said that China has begun to buy American agricultural products, and hinted that its government is expected to sign a trade agreement with China before the 2020 presidential election. When taking Air Force One to Mountain View, California on Tuesday, Trump said the agreement with China will be the greatest agreement ever, and said, "China knows this too." According to informed sources, Chinese negotiators are working on plans to increase procurement of U.S. agricultural products, relax U.S. market access for U.S. companies, and strengthen intellectual property protection. China also announced a series of U.S. products exempting its tariffs last week. The United States is expected to impose tariffs on the EU soon on the issue of Airbus subsidies. On September 17, 2019, the head of EU Trade Affairs said on Monday that the United States will soon impose new tariffs on EU subsidies to the Airbus Group EADSY, as the Donald Trump government refused to resolve a long-term commercial struggle around aircraft manufacturers. EU Trade Commissioner Cecilia Malmstrom said Washington is preparing for the World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization first determined on September 30 that the United States is entitled to final compensation after the promotion of the tariff plan. The United States is expected to impose tariffs on the $11 billion in exports that the EU exports annually. Malmstrom said that the EU had proposed a settlement to the United States in July. It is proposed to cover its lawsuit against Boeing Co. BA at the WTO, but the United States has not yet approached the EU. Once the WTO announces Boeing-related decisions, Brussels is preparing to impose tariffs on U.S. exports of $12 billion United States dollars. It is expected that the WTO will announce its decision in early 2020. Why did the French pension reform in the brewing cause a strong rebound? September 16, 2019, September 13 after the Black Friday of the French public transport system strike. French lawyers, freelance medical staff, aircraft pilots and customer service staff jointly held a protest march on the 16th. Targeted the same as the government's reform of the pension system. It is expected that the parade will start in front of the Paris Opera on the afternoon of the 16th. There will also be many corresponding. What is the idea of the French government's pension system reform plan? Why is it that when the plan has not been specifically written, it has triggered such a strong reaction from all walks of life? Prime Minister Edward Phillips on September 12 to The Economy. After the Social and Environmental Council (CESE) elaborated on the government's reform ideas and timetables, it also explained the public through the TV news of the night. Resolve the uneasiness of public opinion on related issues. But the scale of the public transportation strike the next day was large. I hope to resolve the uneasiness of public opinion on related issues. But the scale of the public transportation strike the next day was large. The turnover of OTC derivatives in Hong Kong ranked third in the world. The growth rate of RMB usage slowed down. Hong Kong Finance, September 17, 2019. The Bank for International Settlements announced the results of the three-year survey on the turnover of foreign exchange and derivatives markets, calculated as the turnover of OTC derivatives. Hong Kong's ranking has risen to one place in the world. In addition, Hong Kong continues to be the fourth largest foreign exchange market in the world. The turnover reached $63.21 billion, the same below, only $1 billion less than the third Singapore. The gap between the two has been greatly narrowed. Trump informed Congress that the U.S. and Japan will reach a partial trade agreement. On September 17, 2019, U.S. President Donald Trump notified Congress on Monday. The U.S. and Japan are preparing to reach a partial agreement to lower some tariffs and finalize digital trade terms. Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in August. At the Group of Seven (G7) summit in France, they said that they have reached an agreement on the reduction of tariffs on agricultural products and industrial products. Earlier, the two sides said they expected to sign an agreement at the UN General Assembly in New York this month. After officially informing Congress, Trump can now move forward. Sign this agreement. The terms of the agreement are not listed in the letter to Congress. Both the U.S. and Japan have restricted negotiations to a certain extent, to avoid the need for Congress to vote. In this letter, Trump retains the possibility of signing a comprehensive trade agreement in the future, and said that it will continue to collaborate with Congress on future negotiations. German media, China is laughing at us. Voice of Germany, September 18, 2019. The German pictorial published on Monday is concerned about a message. Germany has provided China with a grant of €63 million for the development of vocational education. The journalist Willy Haintjes published a ridiculous review article. Less than China is laughing at us. Greater than asked, why can a country that has used the force of Hong Kong to suppress young freedom fighters get a €63 million vocational education aid from Germany? The brain is watering. The author believes that China is the second largest national economy in the world. A high-tech dictator, China continues to expand its influence on the African continent. There is hardly any construction site in Africa that has nothing to do with Chinese capital. For many years, Germany's revival credit institutions have been continually going to Chinese universities, environmental and technology projects to transfer funds. We're giving money to a country that dwarfs us in many areas of technology, the author concludes. Facebook released a new version of the Portal device and entered the streaming media field. On September 19, 2019, Facebook Inc. (FB) officially entered the field of streaming media, introducing the new Portal set-top box, plus the bet on the future of smart homes as social. The second generation of Portal devices has video and video streaming capabilities, but all models are equipped with speakers and equipped with a camera that tracks the user's indoor activity. These devices use artificial intelligence to provide voice control, and can create casual games between special effects and friends. The product announced on Wednesday was an upgraded version of the Portal device released last October. Previous devices have been acclaimed for their ease of use but have been scrutinized by Facebook for improper handling of privacy. The company emphasized during the new product demonstration. The user can choose not to send any data to Facebook. The designer highlights multiple physical functions, and can clearly show the user that the device is off or not shooting. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe, please like. We love seeing comments. Like what we said? Don't like something? Let us know below. Thank you for watching.